Hello, good evening on what is this? Wednesday evening. Um, and the planes have just started taking off over Windsor. Hope everyone is okay, doing alright in the middle of the week, and taking it day at a time, and not doing anything too stressful or with too much pressure. And I don't know, I've had a really good, productive week so far, and I've spent the afternoon with a friend of mine who, I'm just feeling very good, and we've been seeing each other for a couple of weeks now, and I'm just a really good friend of mine now. So anyway, I have done everything I need to do for my financial stuff for my divorce, and then this morning I got an email, and our 20-week period. So in the UK, when you file for divorce, you've got to wait 20 weeks cooling off period before legally anything can be done. So that 20-week period was up today. So I got an email telling me that's it, and excuse the strobes, somebody's broken down, or it might be Thames Water, I don't know. So officially my divorce has started today, and I went out and had a drink with my friends, and it's really exciting, and it's actually not heartbreaking, and I guess this is why the country has put in this 20-week waiting thing, because of heightened emotions and heightened feelings, or what have you. And it's really kind of good. I look back at my 21 years with my husband. That was amazing, and I met him at one of the darkest moments in my life, and he is the reason I'm still alive today, and he will most probably be the love of my life, my soulmate, and my best friend, and that's it. I have had to deal with so much this year, and life's too short. I was suicidal. I attempted suicide 5 times this year. I was in a terrible, dark place. Because of the sudden trauma and loss that I was going through and experiencing, of my life and the love of my life and everything, and that's it. I gave everything. I loved with everything that I had, and that's all you can do. That's the best you can do, and now I get to get divorced and move on and meet new people, and have another chapter, have another book. Sorry, not another chapter. It's a whole new book of my life at 39. For the next adventures and everything that kind of the world has to offer, the universe has to offer, and the universe does do some really crazy things. So I know that when I first started these, I was upset, and especially when I first had to move out from my home, and the rest of it, it was horrendous. But I know now that everybody from day one told me time heals, and truth will out, and that's very true as well. Because it's funny how many people. I'm quite an open person. I'm quite an outgoing person. I've got my face on dating apps. I've got good profiles. I'm on social media. I'm on here. I'm doing this, and I'm not scared. And I'm an outgoing person, and I want to live, and so yeah, that's that. And so because of that, there have been people, guys contacting me, telling me. And this morning I woke up and I thought, Christ, it does hurt sometimes. It does hurt that the thought that I was being cheated on for 4 years, and we bought a house together 3 years ago next month, and we went through all that stress of renovation work, and I got all the expensive gifts, and yeah, so to then have that ripped away, and be told that it was all because of me throughout this process, and having these guys let me know that actually it wasn't me, and I really appreciate everybody that has contacted me and contacted the authorities, and to support me and to protect me and my identity in some of the most horrific things that I've had to go through recently. And I'm still here, I'm still smiling, I'm still happy. I'm actually going to go to the gym, and I have had a really good day with someone that I really like, and it's really nice, and I get to meet these people or person, and in the most randomest of situations or circumstances, and I get to try and be happy again, and I guess that's what I want. There's no point being bitter and horrible or whatever. I mean, today like I said, starts the first day of my legal divorce, and I have let go of all that anger and upset, and I don't blame, and I don't regret anything. 22 years has made me the person I am now, and it's made me certainly a lot stronger, and especially what's happened this year, and losing my cat last year, one of my boys, Damien, very, very shockingly and suddenly, and I had to deal with that. And then having a cancer scare, March last year, and having to deal with that, and then everything that I've gone through this year, and I've gone through the majority of it by myself this year, and I'm coming out of it a lot stronger, and I am surviving. And a lot of people say, you're not surviving, you're thriving, you're actually moving forward, and there's no right way of doing it. I just feel I'm also really tired, so going to the gym is not really I could just bottle out and go home, but for those that have or are going through suicidal thoughts or bad moments, it gets better. I met someone yesterday evening, actually, and whilst I was out walking, and they looked unbelievably depressed, and they were hanging around an area that they could potentially do some harm to themselves. And I actually went up to them and I said, look, are you alright, and how old are you, and I'm chatting to them, and kind of that whole thing of life gets better, and there'll always be there's always going to be those bad moments, but it's not forever, and it's just take it nice and slowly, and what have you, and don't think that everything's on your shoulders all in one go, and you don't have to deal with things all in one go, and there's no time frame, no time limit. In fact, I'm wearing that that jumper now, that I hold that holds a lot of meaning to me. But do you know what? For those, just you're doing all right. You're doing the best you can with what you've got right now, and that's the best that you can do. And that's it. You just have to take the pressure off, stop the pressure, and you have to look after yourself, and you have to protect yourself. Right at the beginning of this whole ordeal, a friend of mine, someone I know, I don't think anymore a friend, but someone I know, said to me, you've got to walk away from this, and you've got to start thinking and protecting yourself. And I never did, because I was so focused on helping somebody else and trying to stop them from destroying their life, and it didn't work, and I ended up becoming suicidal because I forgot to look after myself and my own health and mental health, and the depression ate, and I got into this dark spot that I thought, that's it, if I can't help somebody else, I'm actually losing a life, and that isn't the case. And you have to, it's not selfish. This is something that I've learned all year. It's not selfish to look after yourself. It's not. And there are people out there that won't see you, that when you ask for help, when you say I'm suicidal, they're going to laugh, they're going to joke, they're going to ignore you, they're going to think that you're putting it on, that you're dramatizing, that you are stupid or silly or childish, and those are the kind of people you don't want in your life anyway. And there's phone numbers, Samaritans, I called the Samaritans loads this year, and they help. And talking to your GP or going to a pharmacist, and that's what I did last year. I couldn't get an appointment with my GP, and I was desperate, so I went straight to a pharmacist and I said, help me, I'm suicidal. And they did, and they got me the help, and I started this journey, and I'm here now, and I'm breathing, and I don't have those thoughts, and I am surviving, and I feel very strongly that I'm going to keep these going. I guess I'm going to have to get a bit better at these messages and all the rest of it, but I'm trying. But it's just the fact that I have gone through some horrific ordeal that wasn't it wasn't a separation, it was a complete destruction of my life, and it could have all been avoided. But mental health affects us all, so yeah, and if you are walking around with so much anger, if you're walking around with anger in life, get rid of it. Life's too short. It weighs you down. It's so heavy. It's not worth it. It takes so much energy. And there's a whole life out there. There's a whole life to live out there that's amazing. And you just do it one step at a time, and there's no rule book. There's no right or wrong. If say you're going through a breakup like I have been, and I'm going through a horrific separation and divorce, there's no right or wrong. I didn't have a clue what I was doing, and I was spinning plates with trying to date and trying to do all these things and juggle a social life and juggle smiling and drinking and all the rest of it, and actually, do you know what, it wasn't helping me. And And then I thought, oh, I'm going to get my own place, and I'm going to be independent, and I'm 39, and that's what it is. And I moved into my own place by myself, got all my furniture myself, and I made a nice little home. And then within 3 weeks realised that actually being alone like that wasn't healthy. I wasn't looking after myself. I was going through depression and missing my husband, and it was horrible. So I moved out, and I started staying with friends, and I've made some really good friends along the way that are protecting me, looking after me, that have gone through similar things. And here I am. So it's nice to actually, I'm not forcing a smile, I'm not forcing anything, I'm me, and I'm really enjoying being me. And even though there are people out there that are still trying to do me damage and harm, I'm making sure that people don't win, that people won't break me, and we're strong. As humans, we're weak, but we're strong. We're not weak, sorry. As humans, we're fragile, but we can also be incredibly strong. And that strength brings an incredible thing of new lease of life. And so yeah, I waffle on, and me and my friend have decided that we're going to go on holiday next month, and I'm going to spend my evening looking at hotels, and yeah, I kind of I just want to tell people that eventually I'll be able to tell my entire story instead of being scared of saying something. But eventually I'll be able to tell my story, and it's and that's it, and I will be able to, you're surviving, we're surviving. And I just wish we didn't have to worry so much about suicide and the stigma and everything else. And being honest has bitten me before, but do you know what? If we don't talk about it, it becomes a taboo again, and it shouldn't be a taboo. People get really depressed. We all get to a point as humans, and it's a stressful world, and it's a horrible world that we're going through at the minute. And we all need kind people around us. And if my smile, if me being somewhere where somebody, like last night, I gave this person a great big hug and got them off the ledge at the side, and I was like, it gets better. And it was because he's gay. It's because he's gay and he's struggling and nobody knows, and he's not come out yet. And it was, I'm 39 years old, and I saw this young person struggling, and I could see exactly what he was going through. And I was like that when I was his age, and I said, it gets better. I'm 39. I've been with the most incredible person most of my life, 22 years, and that's love. And you'll find someone, and you don't have to think about suicide. You don't have to, because you're different, because you're gay. And yeah, so this jumper means something to me, these words mean something to me, and the taboo shouldn't be there. And bless him, this guy shouldn't had been thinking, and I'm really hoping he did go home and have a chat with his mum. And I said, mums will always know when their kids are gay, and mums will always love. And some, because I know some that aren't, but My mum knew since I was a kid, since I was a baby, and she has been unbelievably supportive since I came out, since before I came out. And it's been one of the foundations of my world is that I had a very bad upbringing, but I had also got a mum that I met when I was a teenager that embraced who I was and always has. And I hope this person, this guy that I saw yesterday, that looking at me as some old guy saying, look, you can, life gets better, life gets brilliant, and being gay is fantastic. Do you know that? I get to live the life that I want to live without all these kind of expectations of families and homes and family holidays and family cars and leaving money to people and inheritance and things like that. I get to live, and I get to live the way I want to live, and I don't hurt anybody. And hopefully some of these messages come out. Anyway, 21 minutes later and all the waffling, but I also just wanted to say, look, you guys, the people that have been sending me messages after these videos, you're helping me survive. You're giving me a reason to smile. You're giving me a reason to be strong, and it's amazing. And I'm glad I reached out. I'm glad I've started these. It's something I needed, and in such a big world, such a big planet that we are, what, 8 billion or something, whatever we are, but it can be a very lonely place. So it's been really helpful. So thank you very much for those of you that have reached out and with kind, supportive words and everything else. So have a really lovely evening. Almost the weekend, halfway through the week, and yeah, have a nice night. Take care.